in the state in general weathered the COVID crisis.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone. This is our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Commissioner, we are literally headed down the home stretch on the winter sports season for IHSAA sports. You just concluded gymnastics at Worthen Arena on the campus of Ball State last weekend, and congratulations to Crown Point. But we are, again, days away, weeks away from being finished with the winter season. It doesn't seem possible.
It doesn't, Coach. It's, we've gone through this winter season with all of our swimming and wrestling and girls basketball, and we just, like you just said, we just celebrated a gymnastics state championship. And I tell you what, the athleticism in that group of ladies that were performing last weekend is just, it's inspiring, and it's just another example of people who spend a lot of their youth honing a skill, and the gymnastics meet did not disappoint. And then we're here. Got the semi-state coming up this weekend with some incredible basketball set to be played across this great state.
How gratifying has it been for you and your staff to look at how member institutions in the state in general weathered the COVID crisis, and crowds have come back, and we thought they would, but they seem to have come back as much as, if not more than, they had been attending games prior to the COVID outbreak. It's just been unbelievably gratifying, I think, for everyone to see, especially with these regionals and semi-state opportunities, how gyms are packed around the state.
It is, and we had some examples of that throughout the state of Indiana. Coach, like I said in the pairing show on Sunday, in community-based sports where kids grow up in a community, their parents may have wore the same uniform at their time, but when you see these kids at the grocery store, and you see them at the local gas station, you see them in the fabric of the community, they become part of that community, and then the people truly get on the bandwagon, so to speak, and show up and support. The crowd that we had at Newcastle last week, for one, that gym was built to house premier events with large groups of people, and they're somewhere around 9,000 spectators that made the trek to Newcastle and got into that gym, and we've all seen the photos, and it just harkened to days gone by, and it just tells us that the game is still in good shape, and people love to follow their teams when it's a community-based team.
Yeah, we joke sometimes about, small schools and small towns that, last one out of town turn off the lights on their way to the game. But there's something to it. Drive downtown through a small town in our state. If their school happens to be in a sectional, regional, semi-state, or state championship game, signs are out, windows are painted, colors are out. We do take this very seriously. We still, after 114 years, take this incredibly seriously around our state.
We do, and people get out, and I love driving through towns this time of year, and even the store windows have the paint on them that are celebrating the high school teams, and and again, that doesn't happen everywhere. It happens in Indiana, and we're so proud of that, and being able to allow kids to have this time-honored tradition and celebrate this just like I did, just like you did, Coach, and it still matters, and it still teaches lessons through wins, through losses, through coaches mentoring that will help these kids, help them develop, and they will be able to use these lessons in their toolbox for the rest of their life.
He is the commissioner of the IHSAA. It's Paul Neidig. This is our weekly conversation with him and all things IHSAA related. We have semi-state championships coming up this weekend. Get out, be safe on the highways, root and scream for your teams the right way. Sportsmanship is alive and well in our state, and we want to make sure it stays that way. And join us next week as we talk to the commissioner. And Commissioner, be safe out on the highway, you and your staff. Once again, congratulations on a tremendous tournament to this point. It's going to be fun this weekend, and have a safe weekend.
Thank you, Coach, and we'll see you in the gym soon.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community. The Indiana High School Athletic Association is proud to present another Mental Attitude Award winner.
Each year, on the final Saturday of February, the IHSAA, Indiana Pacers, and Indiana Fever collaborate to put on the girls' basketball state finals. This gives all student athletes from each team an opportunity of a lifetime. In Class 1A, the Lanesville Eagles captured their second straight girls' basketball state final by defeating the Marquette Catholic Blazers 51-43. Along with leaving Indianapolis as a state champion, one student athlete from Lanesville received the Most Distinguishing Award Saturday morning. I'm Eddie Garrison, and this is your Class 1A, Patricia L. Roy, Mental Attitude Award winner.
It means a lot to me because I've grown a lot since I've been here in my freshman year. I was kind of a head case. I was so hard on myself, and just to get to this award and be able to do this at a state championship means everything to me.
That was the voice of senior Ava Kerr of Lanesville High School after being presented the award because she was nominated by her principal, Joe Volker, and head coach Angie Hinton for demonstrating excellence in mental attitude, scholarship, leadership, and athletic ability during her 4 years of high school. The IHSAA's executive committee then reviewed their nomination along with Marquette Catholic's nomination and selected Kerr as the recipient of the award. Ava Kerr became the second student athlete from Lanesville to receive the IHSAA Mental Attitude Award since becoming a member school in 1939. She carries a GPA of 3.8, is the class president of the Student Council, and is a member of the National Honor Society. One thing that she will not forget about Lanesville is the atmosphere in which she was able to grow as an athlete and as a student.
Just the family atmosphere, that's why we're here and why we've been here for 2 years, because Coach brought her family in to make us all one big family, and that's how we've got here today.
Along with being a standout basketball player, she was a 4-year member of Lanesville's volleyball and softball teams. She explains her life as a student athlete.
It gets hard sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, Exceeding in school can get hard, especially with what I'm doing in school, but also having to come out every day at practice and working hard so that we can get to this. But I know I have to do it for my teammates.
Ava plans on attending Indiana University Southeast to study nursing upon graduation. On February 14th, the presenting sponsor of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament and the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever presented a $1,000 scholarship to Lanesville High School's General Scholarship Fund in the name of Ava Kerr. I'm Eddie Garrison, and this is your Class 1A Mental Attitude Award winner, Ava Kerr of Lanesville High School.
The Indiana High School Athletic Association is proud to present another Mental Attitude Award winner.
Each year, on the final Saturday of February, the IHSAA, Indiana Pacers, and Indiana Fever collaborate to put on the girls' basketball state finals. This gives all student athletes from each team an opportunity of a lifetime. In Class 2A, the Fort Wayne Bishop Luers Knights captured their 7th girls basketball state final by defeating the Brownstown Central Braves 44-36. Even though one player did not leave Indianapolis as a state champion, one student athlete from Brownstown Central received the Most Distinguishing Award Saturday morning. I'm Eddie Garrison, and this is your Class 2A, Patricia L. Roy, Mental Attitude Award winner.
I wasn't expecting it, I'll tell you that one. But I'm just so excited. It just shows how much I've worked. Everything's just incredible. I love it.
That was the voice of senior Kelsey Schneider of Brownstown Central High School after she was presented the award because she was nominated by her principal, Scott Krager, and head coach Mark Pixley for demonstrating excellence in mental attitude, scholarship, leadership, and athletic ability during her 4 years of high school. The IHSAA's executive committee then reviewed their nomination along with Fort Wayne Bishop Luer's nomination and selected Schneider as the recipient of the award. Kelsey was the only senior on Brownstown Central's team this season. She serves as the secretary and treasurer for her graduating class. Schneider is also a member of the Booster Club, Letterman's Club, National Honor Society, and Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She currently has a 3.7 GPA and explains how she's been able to balance everything.
Being an AP honors a lot of my classes for high school. Just finding a way to cope with your struggles and finding help in the teachers, the classroom, just helping myself out by going in, asking questions was a lot.
Once her athletic career is over, she will accumulate 9 letters in basketball, softball, cross country, and cheerleading. She plans to attend DePaul University, where she will play softball for the Tigers. She's undecided on her field of study. On February 24th, the presenting sponsor of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament and the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever presented a $1,000 scholarship to Brownstown Central High School's General Scholarship Fund in the name of Kelsey Schneider. I'm Eddie Garrison, and this was your Class 2A Mental Attitude Award winner, Kelsey Schneider of Brownstown Central High School.
The Indiana High School Athletic Association is proud to present another Mental Attitude Award winner.
Each year, on the final Saturday of February, the IHSAA, Indiana Pacers, and Indiana Fever collaborate to put on the girls' basketball state finals. This gives all student athletes from each team an opportunity of a lifetime. In Class 3A, the Gibson Southern Titans captured their first state championship by defeating the Norwell Knights 63-60. Along with leaving Indianapolis as a state champion, one student athlete from Gibson Southern received the Most Distinguishing Award Saturday afternoon. I'm Eddie Garrison, and this is your Class 3A Patricia L. Roy Mental Attitude Award winner.
Yeah, I was so excited. It didn't feel real, to be honest, but I couldn't do it without my parents, my teammates, my coaches, and all of Titan Nation out there. So I just want to thank them for that.
That was senior Allie Malone of Gibson Southern High School after she was presented the award because she was nominated by her principal, John Adams, and head coach Kyle Brasher for demonstrating excellence in mental attitude, scholarship, leadership, and athletic ability during her 4 years of high school. The IHSAA's executive committee then reviewed their nomination along with Norwell's nomination and selected Malone as the recipient of the award. Allie Malone is sitting at the top of her class with a 4.0 GPA while serving as the junior and senior class president, being involved in student council, and is in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She's a 3-year letter winner, 2-year starter, and a 2-time team captain of the girls basketball team. Allie also plays softball and has been a 4-year starter for the Titans. She shares how sports have impacted her education as a student athlete.
They've taught me a lot of life lessons, and I just couldn't be more grateful for those lessons that I can carry with me.
Allie Malone is undecided on where she will attend college, but wants to major in medical studies. On February 24th, the presenting sponsor of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament and the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever presented a $1,000 scholarship to Gibson Southern High School's General Scholarship Fund in the name of Allie Malone. I'm Eddie Garrison, and this was your Class 3A Mental Attitude Award winner, Allie Malone of Gibson Southern High School.
The Indiana High School Athletic Association is proud to present another Mental Attitude Award winner.
Each year, on the final Saturday of February, the IHSAA, Indiana Pacers, and Indiana Fever collaborate to put on the girls' basketball state finals. This gives all student athletes from each team an opportunity of a lifetime. In Class 4A, the Lawrence Central Bears capped off their 30-win season by defeating the Lake Central Indians 55-28. Even though one player did not leave Indianapolis as a state champion, one student athlete from Lake Central received the most distinguishing award Saturday evening. I'm Eddie Garrison, and this is your Class 4A Patricia L. Roy Mental Attitude Award winner.
It means a lot to me. It's such a humbling experience for my coaches and the principal to nominate me, and it shows like everything that I've done have not gone unnoticed.
That was the voice of senior Kennedy Burks of Lake Central High School after being presented the award because she was nominated by her principal Aaron Novak and head coach Joe Huppenthal for demonstrating excellence in mental attitude, scholarship, leadership, and athletic ability during her 4 years of high school. The IHSAA's executive committee then reviewed their nomination along with Lawrence Central's nomination and selected Burks as the recipient of the award. She reveals one lesson she will always remember for the rest of her life after attending Lake Central High School as a student athlete.
Coach Hupp just always says us is good enough, and us being good enough, we made it here. And like that meant a lot to me, so I'm going to keep that and just know that I'm good enough to do anything that I put my mind to it.
Kennedy is a 4-year honor roll member of Lake Central High School, a scholar athlete, and received the Sportsmanship Award. She officiates basketball games for Lake Central Youth Basketball and local gym leagues. She has a weighted GPA of 3.91 and explains how she was able to balance her life as a student athlete.
It's time consuming, but I just learned how to focus on what's most important and just go off of that and just keep doing it.
Kennedy plans to major in nursing, but does not have a college of choice yet. On February 24th, the presenting sponsor of the IHSAA Girls Basketball State Tournament in the Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever presented a $1,000 scholarship to Lake Central High School's General Scholarship Fund in the name of Kennedy Burks. I'm Eddie Garrison, and this was your Class 4A Mental Attitude Award winner, Kennedy Burks of Lake Central High School.
Some see a student athlete.
Remodeling a living space to meet the needs of change is what Doppler Construction can offer. The professionals at Doppler Construction in Crown Point can change the face of a home with room additions along with kitchen and bath remodeling. With a variety of services offered, Doppler Construction also performs window replacements, decks, and a variety of many other home repairs. For a list of services, the website is DopplerConstruction.com and the phone number is 661-1011. Doppler Construction.
The professionals at Air Ductor can improve the air quality of a home by remediating mold, bacteria, volatile organic compounds, harmful contaminants, and odors. They can even offer a video inspection of the ducts. As a family-owned business, their mission is to provide high-quality professional service to the customer, meaning 100% satisfaction. For peace of mind, the number to call is 219-779-0779 or visit them on the web at airductorinc.com. Air Ductor, improving air quality in home and business.
Beat the heat this summer with a newly installed AC unit from AirTech Comfort Systems in Crown Point. AirTech Comfort Systems has been providing prompt, honest service in Northwest Indiana since 1994. Whether it's a faulty AC unit or to install a brand new heating system, AirTech Comfort Systems can tackle it. AirTech Comfort Systems comes with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. You can call the experts at AirTech Comfort Systems at 219-663-9778. And you can always visit them on the web at airtechcs.com.
Since 1976, Brown & Sons Services has been the local leading concrete contractor in Lake and Porter County for all sorts of concrete services and related tasks. Residential and commercial, Brown & Sons gives each client 100%. When it comes to concrete, Brown & Sons does it all, from foundations to specialty concrete and hardscaping. Call Brown & Sons today for a free estimate at 219-689-0007. Or visit them on the web at brownandsonsconcrete.com. Brown & Sons Concrete. Our best work is yours.
Rise and shine, everybody. Welcome to Game Day in the Region on the Region Sports Network, streaming live on our Facebook, YouTube, and the IHSAA Champions Network. We bring you coverage from Northside Gymnasium in Elkhart as the Region Sports Network presents coverage of the Class 4A boys basketball semi-state semifinal game as the Crown Point Bulldogs take on the Fishers Tigers. Michael Brenner here along with Jay Simmons for the broadcast today. Jay, normally I don't see you this early in the morning.
No, you don't.
There's good reason for that, but we are working today on a Saturday, hoping we can get these Crown Point Bulldogs to get one of the big upsets around the state of Indiana today.
Yeah, Fisher's coming in red hot. They are 26-1, Crown Point 20-5. The last time Fisher's has lost was January 27th at Carmel, 54-46. A very low-scoring game for Fisher's, who usually averages 67 points a game.
Yeah, they are definitely one of the tops in the states, if actually ranked number one in the state of Indiana, and winning their first sectional championship in program history earlier this month, and then also getting their first regional championship in program history. So definitely on this real big hot streak right now. If you are the Fishers Tigers, and they are coached by Garrett Weiniger, has no losing seasons. He's in his fifth season overall, also coaching over at Warren Central, but in his fourth season here with the Tigers, 75-23. No losing seasons in his record. That's not too shabby when you come into a new program.
No, it is not. A little bit of a caveat here. My nephew played for Fishers, so I do have a little bit of insight into the Fishers program.
And he's going to reveal some of those insights.
Yes, we will.
The course of,
well, we were on the phone with my brother, who still goes to the games.
Yeah.
So my nephew's a sophomore in college at Ball State playing football. But yeah, so he's still an avid member of the cheering section at Fishers.
That's always important. I could definitely, through the conversations you guys were having, I could definitely tell that it was your brother, indeed. And it's always fun to listen to you guys talk and get to have these conversations about what's going on around sports, especially here in Indiana. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about those Crown Point Bulldogs having one heck of a season, 20-15 on the year, a share of the Duneland Athletic Conference Championship. Matching a 6-game win streak right now to get to this semi-state semi-final game. They got a really tough draw against Fishers, but this team has a different way about them, if you will. This team has a mix of confidence and a little bit of arrogance as well, and I think when you have that combination and it works really well, this team could, if this team gets hot from the early onsets of the game, this could be a very interesting ball game.
Well, and I think that's one of the things I talked about. Fishers loves to get out early and score often, and the Bulldogs are going to have to somehow fight through that initial wave. If they can get hot from the three-point line, when we talked about Michael earlier, you got Kingston Rhodes 32% from the three-point line. You've got Elliott Swan 34%. You've got Svek. Did I say that? Svedich. It's I think that's 50% from the three-point line. So if he can get hot and those other guys can get open and get some shots made available to him, they can definitely hang in this early on. Like I said, though, they got to fight off that initial surge of the Fishers Tigers.
And one thing that we talked about too when we were talking to your brother before we went on the air, we know that Fishers is going to get up and run. They're going to score early, but they're going to move the ball quickly, and they're going to get quick in transition. One thing that might help stabilize that is we've seen with Crown Point already this season, the sectional championship, and we've seen in the regional championship, they do like to slow the ball down. They are not afraid to kind of slowly bring it up the floor, get it across the timeline, use that full 10 seconds, and then really wait for their shot. That could mess things up for Fishers a little bit.
Yeah, it's all about ball control and definitely setting the pace, the tone of the game. I think is huge for Crown Point, and one of the keys to the game for the Bulldogs is definitely being able to, one, control the rebounds, get those defensive boards, get the ball out, slow it down. Don't let Fishers get any second chance points also.
All right, we're going to step aside for just a few moments. We'll have more coming up here from Northside Gym as we bring you this semi-state semifinal between Crown Point and Fishers on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Munster Primary Care, Dr. Asif Faruqi is one of the top internal medicine physicians that you can trust. With over 25 years in the medical field, Dr. Faruqi is passionate about the treatment and relationships of his adolescent, adult, and elderly patients. Munster Primary Care is open Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Friday from 9 to 3. They accept all insurance along with walk-in or new patients at their office at 9222 Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland. Can't make it to their location? Give them a call at 219-301-5212.
This spring, be on the lookout for Northwest Indiana's newest center for all your physical and mental health needs, WellPoint Wellness. WellPoint Wellness will allow their clients to discover the art of self-healing with their modern naturopathic therapies to unlock their full health potential. Opening at 40 East Joliet Street in downtown Cherryville, the center will provide treatments different from conventional medicine that have been proven effective. For more information about their opening, as well as everything else WellPoint Wellness related, visit their website at wpwcenter.com. WellPoint Wellness. Say hello to a healthier you.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Visit your local Culver's at 1800 Summit Street in Crown Point.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. Mike Brander here along with the one and thankfully the only Jay Simmons.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to be with Jay. Maybe not necessarily on a Saturday morning,
I was
but
gonna say so bright and early.
so bright. So this is what you look like in the daytime. Okay. All right. Mayor Pete Land of the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog Athletics and say, "Go Bulldogs!" Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth, which is also what Jay likes to do as well. Mayor Pete Land and the Pace team invite everyone to enjoy the best lighted nighttime St. Patrick's Day parade in the region. Join the city of Crown Point for its annual St. Patrick's Day parade at dusk tomorrow, March 17th. For more info, visit crownpoint.in.gov. All right, getting set here for a semi-state semifinal matchup between Crown Point and Fishers. And Clint Swan, the head coach for the Crown Point Bulldogs, is definitely not shy to these types of moments. He's been around for a long time. One of the most respected coaches in the state of Indiana, that is for sure. In his 18th season here at Crown Point, his 27th year overall. He has taken a team down to state before, and that's the Andrean 59ers. So he knows kind of how to get through these moments. It's been a little while, as we will bring you the starting lineups here in just a little while. But when you have this kind of experience and you're doing it for the first time with this program, it kind of means something special, especially for Clint Swan. I know it means a lot to him that he's got his son on this team as well.
Well, it's going to be some great memories coming in the future, and just think about it. You got your son out there playing. It's going to be great day for Crown Point, and you think about it. Seamus Molaski a few months ago playing in the state championship, and now you've got the basketball team playing for a semi-state championship. So the Crown Point Bulldogs are definitely headed in the right directions in terms of athletic program.
So you can even look at that and say that you have a leader on this team that can help you kind of calm through these nerves for these guys that maybe have not been in these kind of situations.
A spotlight like this, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because, when the farther and farther, and I kind of got to see this, and you got to see this when the Lake Central girls were going down for state as well. The farther and farther you go, the more attention gets drawn to you. And yes, the egos may swell a little bit. And I'm sure you're pumping your chest as you're walking through the halls a little bit. But then you got to get on the court, and you see those guys across the way, and they're just as good, if not maybe a little bit better than you. And that's when maybe things start to settle in a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely, and when you did all the interviews with the Lake Central girls before they went to their state trip, and I'm sure they've gotten a lot of press attention, the Crown Point Bulldogs. So it's going to be a fun game.
Oh, I can't wait for this one, and just for the city of Crown Point as well, as we can kind of see around here that they have shown out pretty well. There is a large contingency of Crown Point Bulldog fans at Northside Gym in Elkhart, one of the most historic gyms in the state of Indiana, as they are conducting the national anthem as we speak. And I can't wait for this one. The city of Crown Point is definitely in a buzz. Living there myself and just kind of getting around the atmosphere a little bit. It's going to be fun to see this team to battle. Yes, it's going to be a tough battle, and we've talked about these in numerous amounts of contests, but should be entertaining for sure.
Well, and you go back and look, the sectional championship for Fishers, they won 49-47 versus Noblesville, and then you look back and you see Crown Point played Noblesville and lost in overtime 56-55. So you sort of, that's one of the things I like to do is cross over and see who they played against, common opponents, and this, to me, looking at that one game right there, this could be a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I think a lot of people may look at it and say, okay, you're playing the number one team in the state. You haven't really been ranked all season long. How does that factor into things? But sometimes those matchups and sometimes those rankings of teams up here in the north don't maybe necessarily get the same look as maybe the ones that are down in Indy, where some of those big-time ranking members get to do their rankings or get to see those teams. So
right. So are the Bulldogs really that big of an underdog?
Oh, look at you! I was waiting for.
I wrote that one down like 3 days ago. Okay, I was waiting for it.
And he spelled it all right too. That was even more impressive for him. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups as we are just moments away from the opening tip here at Northside Gym for Elkhart. Let's take a look at the Crown Point Bulldogs first and their starting lineups. It'll be number 2 to lead things off, the 5'8" sophomore Kingston Rhodes. Next on to the floor will be the 6'1" senior, number 11, Elliott Swan, the son of Coach Clint Swan of the Crown Point Bulldogs. Next onto the floor, the senior, the 6'2" senior, number 22, Jack Svetich, along with the 6'6" sophomore Dikembe Shaw, who had a really good second half of that section or that regional championship game, had finished with 16 points, all coming in that second half, and doing really, really well from the free throw line as well, especially in the overtime section. He had, 6 for 10 in that overtime, so not too shabby when you're the one getting fouled. They're thinking, hey, this guy maybe had low free throw percentage, maybe not the best. Goes 6 for 10, helps get the win.
That's definitely huge right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially under pressure.
Lots of pressure in that one. Last one onto the field or onto the court will be number 25, the 6'5" senior Jaden Schofield. Kind of one of the guys that maybe kind of flies under the radar in a lot of ways with this team, but I think he has a very impressive game and can do a lot of damage out there on the floor from what I've seen so far.
And Schofield's going to have his hands full down on the blocks tonight.
Oh, yes, and we'll talk about that as the game progresses. For the Fishers Tigers, you've got the 6'2" senior, number 2, Tayden Metzger, along with number 3, the 6'3" junior, Millen McCartney, along with number 4, that is the 5'9" freshman, Cooper Zachary. So getting a freshman here in semi-state action, not too shabby. Along with the guys that you're definitely going to have to keep your eye on if you are the Crown Point Bulldogs, their 2 leading scorers. You've got the 6'2" junior, John Anthony Hall, and then the 6'6" senior, Keenan Garner. So John Anthony Hall, definitely a guy we're going to be able to see next year as well.
Yeah, Keenan Garner, 16.1 points per game and also averaging 8.3 rebounds per game. So that's where Jaden Schofield's going to have his hands full on the blocks, like I just mentioned a second ago.
All right, we are just about set for tip here at Northside Gym for Crown Point and Fishers. Our Economy Electric Heating and Cooling game day forecast, a very comfortable 43 degrees in Elkhart today. Sun is shining, a little partly cloudy. And the tip is away, and this will be in the air, and the ball is still loose and eventually controlled by the Tigers, who come left to right from our vantage point here at Northside Gym. First to take it is Hall, who will hand it off there to Zachary, the freshman. Kind of a long pass, almost got out of the hands of Metzger, but he's able to control. Back in the hands of Metzger as he goes to the left side, trying to drive inside that left corner, has to kick this one back out. This time it's to Hall, who drives inside the paint, stops at the free throw line, brings it back out. Dribbling with that right hand at the top of the key now. Moves to his left, kind of waiting to get around a screen here. Metzger realizes he doesn't have it. So Hall drives inside, left elbow. Kicks it off now. That's Zachary again. And taking their time are the Fishers Tigers. Definitely not in any kind of rush, but good defense here.
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely good defense right there. They have, anytime they've tried to penetrate inside, they have been blocked.
Top of key three, rattles around, doesn't go. That was for Hall. Rebound comes down to Shaw as he kicks it up across the timeline. Tries to feed it into Schofield. Is able to control it there. Almost lost the possession as they come right to left on the floor. Elliott Swan in the left wing with it. Dribbles with the right hand. Tries to find a passer. Now decides to drive on that right side to the right block. Spins. Has to pass this one out. Finds Kingston Rhodes in the far corner. And is going to get called for a walk.
Yeah, shuffled his feet right there, right before he tried to pass the ball. Good defense right there by the Fisher Tigers, just stopping any type of penetration. Once one of the players from Crown Point got the ball on the blocks, he was unable to do anything with it.
So 2 empty possessions for both teams to start. And, you're playing the number 1 team in the state. If you start breaking things down in certain increments here, as a long 3-point shot, no good. Rebound still comes down to Fishers, though, in the right corner. Now gives it up to Zachary, who tries to put one up. No foul is called. Yeah. And here come the Bulldogs back in transition. Maybe trying to play a little Fisher style here as Shaw pulls up inside for a jumper and gets the first points of the ball game.
Yeah, break the seal right there for Crown Point. A tough fadeaway shot, got knocked down, but no call.
Trying to feed this one on the baseline, trying to kick it back toward the free throw line, but it's turned over. So here comes Crown Point again in possession. Kingston Rhodes with it. Steps just inside the 3-point line here at Northside Gym. Dikembe Shaw to the left block. Puts it up and has to pass it off to Schofield, who gets it on the right block this time. 4-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Schofield right there comes out from the backside. His man was double teamed. He was wide open underneath the basket.
Driving on the baseline is Hall, and we're going to see a out-of-bounds call here, and it will be Fisher's ball here on the baseline. He will step on the R of Elkhart here on the baseline.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was off Shaw right there for the Bulldogs.
So passing it into the corner. This is Metzger with it, driving to his left side. Thought about pulling up for a 3-point basket, has to stop it there. Kicks it into the left corner now, into the far corner. That is where Garner will have possession. Drives inside the lane, has a little bit of a spot there, but Dikembe Shaw says, you're not going to put that one up that easy.
Well, no, what a great job. When some weak side defense came over and swatted that one into the first row of the bleachers.
Yeah, that one was with a little bit of authority there, saying Dikembe Shaw is like, you are not going to score here. Inbounding it is Zachary, trying to get it in from the baseline. Finds it into the corner with Metzger. Right in front of the Crown Point bench, Metzger with a little floater, no good. Rebound comes down to Metzger again, and I believe he was pushed in the back. So we'll have our first foul of the game, and this will come to Crown Point. And I couldn't see the number that they displayed there. It'll be number 11, so that's Elliott Swan. Good call. Yeah, we had a little bit of a push in the back, so his first and the team's first. First free throw up and no good for Metzger. So, we kind of talked about this when Lake Central played South Bend, Washington in that game, and that was a big upset for Lake Central in a lot of ways. If you can keep, Fishers obviously scores the first point here on the free throw attempt, but if you can keep them, kind of roughly off the scoreboard for long periods of time, you're going to be, in a good chance to win. As a floater put up from Rhodes, no good. Here come the Tigers in transition. This is their game, moving in quickly in transition, going up and missing the first basket, but then cleaning it up and putting it home is McCartney.
McCartney, had a good look and missed a layup, but got his own rebound and picked it up and scored.
As Rhodes on the other end quickly adds to the lead. It's a 3-point lead here for the Bulldogs with 4:50 left to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Rhodes averaging 7 points a game.
Driving to that right side was Garner and couldn't get it to go, pushing the tempo a little bit. Schofield had the ball loose, and we're going to say it's out of bounds, and it's going to be Fisher's ball there. Yeah, it looked like Schofield just kind of slowly wanted to go put up the basket, but then all of a sudden there was a defender behind him that just poked it away.
Yeah, and a good job right there. Fisher's trying to take that basketball down the court, and both teams seem to be a little bit out of control here, trying to push the tempo. Crown Point needs to slow them down a little bit.
Well, there seems to be an emphasis on a transition defense here for Crown Point, but then this jump shot for Metzger from inside the free throw line is good, so makes it a 1-point game. But then also Crown Point willing to pick up that tempo a little bit as well.
Yeah, they just got to make sure they stay under control if they're going to try and pick up the tempo.
Shaw found a lane, but it gets closed quickly here on the left block, dishes it out to Seamus Molaski, who's checked in. And Kingston Rhodes from inside the three-point arc with the left wing jumper, no good. Here come Fishers down in transition here. Hall with it. Driving to the free throw line, stops right at the free throw line, kicks it into the right block. Kicks it back out to Hall for a three from the top of the key and hits.
No, nice job pushing that ball back outside. The double team came down on the block, and they pushed the ball back out quickly.
Shaw will bring it across the timeline here on the left side. Dishes it off to Jack Svedich, his first touch of the game. From the right elbow, has to kick this one out, finds Shaw on the right wing. Jack Svedich is probably going to have a shadow. We saw that last week in the regional championship game. He went off in the sectional championship with 6 threes in that one, had 28 points, and he was kind of shut down. And I think he had a three in that regional championship, but I mean, he wants to contribute, but you got to believe that he's willing to, if it means that I'm going to get the extra coverage and somebody else is open, as long as we win, I don't care.
That's right.
Svedich moves to his right, top of key three, rattles around, doesn't fall home. And Shaw comes down with
the offensive rebound. Nice job.
And they've got numbers here, and another three from Kingston Rhodes. He goes and fights for the rebound, and we'll have another foul here. And this will probably be against Kingston Rhodes for Crown Point.
Yeah, Kingston Rhodes came over the back trying to get that offensive rebound, committed the foul. And I think that's what Crown Point's second team foul now.
Yeah, second team foul here of the quarter with 2:56 to go in this opening quarter. Again, the winner will move on to the semi-state championship game later on tonight. So Crown Point and Fishers here in the semifinal. It was probably not the draw that Crown Point was looking for right off the bat to start their morning off, but this is how it broke down. Hall dishes it off to Metzger here. Now Metzger at the right block puts it up and lays it home. Already having a pretty good game here.
Yeah, Metzger with a nice little back cut right there from the side right there. Took a nice back cut and got a wide open look.
Mason Darrell was driving on the baseline. Now a foul here is going to be against Fishers, and it's going to be against Tayden Metzger. We were just talking about him, so that's the first team foul for Fishers. And thankfully, we've got a nice vantage point of the officials being able to give the numbers.
That's right.
It works out for us in that favor.
Crown Point's going to inbound the ball. Yep.
From the left side, or the near side here from our vantage point, it's Mason Darrell. Gives it into Seamus Molaski. Mason Darrell had the hot hand in that regional championship last week. Couple of trays early on in that one to set a tone. Swan getting smothered on defense on that right block. Spins. Can't get it to go. Molaski fights for the rebound. Now inside the paint. Puts one up. It gets blocked. Gets his own rebound again. Here's Jack Svenich with it at the top of the key. Swings it around. Swan on the right wing now near that out-of-bounds line. Now swings it over to Darrell. Darrell's not afraid to shoot it, as we talked about last week, as Dikembe Shaw gets called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, Shaw put his shoulder down and tried to run the defender over. Defender had the position well established, so Shaw picks up another team foul.
Yeah, Mason Darrell in that regional championship game had 4 threes, 14 points. So he's not afraid to shoot, and he'll do it from the volleyball line. He's not afraid. He's wearing the pink shoes today. Real fancy look. Driving to the rim was Jason Gardner, who we were talking a little bit about.
Yeah, Gardner a little bit out of control.
Mason Darrell a lot of control as well. Lost the footwork a little bit. Tried to put one home. No whistle, though. This one kicked into the corner. Now at the top of the key with Kirby. Gives it off to Hall. Here's a jumper inside the free throw line. That's no good. Rebound comes down to Quinn Bakley, who has checked into the game. And Svedic tried to dish one off and pass, but the defender or his teammate definitely was not on the same page, as coming down the floor and scoring is Justin Kirby.
Again, Crown Point, when they got to try and go in transition quickly, they need to be under control.
Still a two-possession game as we're under a minute to play here in the opening quarter. So 12-6 your score. Fishers on top with 50 seconds to go. Seamus Molaski at the right block. Here comes Svedic. Gets fouled as he goes up.
Yeah, nice pass by Molaski right there. Sort of feathered the ball between two defenders and set up his player nicely.
So Metzger gets called for his second foul of the game.
Yes, Svedic did a nice job cutting away from the ball, got into that lane, and like I said, Seamus Molaski with the nice feed, shooting two.
So you want to see that for Svedic, as the first free throw is no good. Definitely something you want to see here early is you got to start finding a way to get Svedic involved, because he's one of your best scorers, a great defender as well, which is why
he's averaging 15 points a game.
Yeah, so he definitely got to get him in that scoring column, and he'll do it from beyond the arc. What we saw last week, he kind of got shadowed, and we talked to Clint Swan after the game, and he wasn't really sure how it was going to happen, if he was going to get, what kind of, defensive mindset they were going to have on him. But when it was Mason Darrell that picked up the hot hand afterwards, it was okay in the end. 5-point game as Svedic hits the second free throw here. So down to 40 seconds in the opening quarter. Gardner brought it across the timeline. Now matched against the defense of Kingston Rhodes. Feeds it right onto the right block, and putting it home to score is Keenan Gardner.
Yeah, Keenan Gardner wide open on the block. Nice feed from his guard.
So now makes it a 7-point lead for the Tigers. It's Kingston Rhodes down to 20 seconds at the top of the key. Makes a spin move at the right elbow. Gives off to Svedic. Thought about the three with a little shot fake, but now loses the ball off his foot, and they're going to call a backcourt violation because it wasn't tipped. It was off his foot. So Fishers with a chance with 13 seconds to go here in this opening quarter for the final shot.
Yeah, Svedic right there. At first thought he was going to shoot it, then put the ball down on the ground, kicked off his leg, and rolled back past the midcourt line.
And I believe, I didn't ask this of Clint Swan early in the game, or last week when we got a chance to talk to him, but I would imagine that a good chunk of these guys have the green light to shoot when they have the ball. If they're in a position where they feel like they can shoot, this one smacked from behind by Elliott Swan, and there's going to be a foul.
It looks like it was going to be on Swan. Yep,
it is.
On Swan. Looked like Shaw had a great block there. Dikembe Shaw